What's up, YouTube? Eagles Truth here with you. If you're wondering why I'm in the car, it's because I can't control myself enough to not scream, okay? So if you guys enjoy rants, stay tuned. You're going to love this video. I wish I could love it with you. This is seriously like my 10th take trying to make this post-recap game video, okay? So to make this my final take, I gotta keep this in segments, all right? First, I'm going to talk about the score. You let a 3-9-1 team, now a 4-9-1 team, score 49 points on your defense. 49! Let me talk about that defense. We have been shit against the pass all motherfucking year long. I can't tell you how many times they're driving down the field, and then something lucky breaks our way to where we don't give up points, or at least don't give up a touchdown. Or a drive stalls because the guy's wide open, but luckily he drops it. It's been happening all year long, and people think our defense is so fucking great. They don't have Adrian Peterson or their second running back. So you know, you shouldn't have to scheme for their third string running back, their practice squad player or anything. Stop their pass. This guy's a practice squad player, for God's sakes. If he starts beating you, then adjust. The pass killed us all game long. It's been killing us all season long. People want to think our defense has been so great. Scott Tolzien, remember him? Remember the 500 some yards Green Bay had against, or no, it was Oakland. Oakland had 500 some yards against us. Green Bay I think had like 400 some yards against us. We've been giving up a lot of yardage. Well, guess what? Yardage equals points. If they don't turn it over, it equals points. Half the time we're not forcing turnovers. The freaking offense is giving us gifts. If they don't give us gifts, we're fucked. This defense is a joke. What do we want to get in the playoffs for? What do we want to get in the playoffs for? So we can face like the Panthers or the 49ers? They'll kill us. They will absolutely demolish us. And if for somehow, some way, luck breaks our way again, the Saints will destroy us. I know they lost this week, but they will absolutely destroy us in that dome. I don't know why I'm caring so much. I came in the season thinking we were going to be anywhere from 7 to 9 wins. We're right in the middle of that right now. We may not win another game. I don't know. If we, I overlooked the Vikings. You saw my preview video. I overlooked them. But what I do should not have no impact on the fucking team. I trust this team to take care of business. They let me down. You let me down once, I don't trust you again. Doesn't mean I'll never pick them in another game. But I'm not just going to automatically just trust them that they're going to take care of business. I thought this was a different team. EDP was right. He preached all fucking week long that he was nervous. That was a trap game. You were right. You were right. I didn't call him out on it or anything, but in my own head, I disagreed with him. But he was right. He was fucking 100% right. And on his birthday, they lose. EDP, man, I feel for you. You had a birthday party, your first one ever, and the Eagles let you down. Now, granted, they don't know who you are and all that stuff and everything. They don't owe you anything or anything like that. But still, to have your team let you down on your birthday in the fashion that they did, it just fucked up his birthday. He's probably trying to get through it, but they fucked up his birthday. Nick Foles, everyone wants to think Nick Foles walks on water, like he's the greatest thing ever. And if you looked at his stats, just glance at his stats, over 410 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's an alright day. That's an alright day. That's like a Peyton Manning-ish type day, stats-wise. But if you watch the game, he holds on the ball way too long. Everyone wants to say Vic holds on the ball too long. Nick Foles held on the ball way too long. And a lot of his passes, I couldn't tell you who they were to. A lot of them I could not tell. The intended receiver wasn't in my screen on the TV. Absolutely a joke. Nick Foles, you cannot be hot and cold like this. I understand you're not going to have an amazing game every game. I get that. That's asking too much. All right. But when you're bad, your accuracy is so fucking off. We got to be able to count on you. We got to be able to count and know what we're getting game in and game out. Doesn't mean we're going to win every game. Doesn't mean you're going to have an amazing game every game. But we have to know what to expect from you. Because right now, you're so damn bipolar, I don't know what the fuck to do. This is the second time you've roped me in on your bandwagon and have let me down. The second motherfucking time. After we beat the Giants, granted, Michael Vick deserves some of that win too. He did have us up by 9 points when he injured his hamstring. But Nick Foles came in, had a kind of a shitty third quarter, but really dominated in the fourth quarter. Then he comes in against the Buccaneers and has a really good game. I was starting to get on his bandwagon then. Then he has that Dallas game. I jumped off it immediately. And then 5 wins in a row. Looking good, including a 7 touchdown performance and everything. Had me right back on his bandwagon. He threw that first pick in the Lions game. He came back. Granted, a lot of it was McCoy. But Foles made the plays that he had to make in that game as well after he threw the interception. And I was, so that's what I want to see. And I was right back on his bandwagon. And then today, he can't do this to me. I'm not gonna blame the quarterback every time we lose. For example, against the Chargers, that was not Vic's fault. He played a good game. That was all on the defense. But with that said, Nick Foles was not the reason for this loss. Now, granted, he could have played better. Like I said, there was passes. He held on the ball too long, and there was passes that were just so off, I couldn't tell who he was throwing to. But when you score 30 points in a game, you should win the game. Especially against a sad Minnesota Vikings team. Granted, they've been playing tough, but still. A 3-9-1 team without their top 2 running backs. 30 points should be enough to win that game. No, this loss falls on the defense. Big time. And someone else is going to share the blame as well. Chip Kelly. I think, as far as your offensive scheme, the sports science stuff, the fast-paced offense and all that stuff, the way you draw up plays and everything, I think you're good at that. But game time management stuff, you suck at. I understand you're a first-year head coach, but you better learn real fucking fast. You have the NFL's leading running back. I think he's still the NFL leading running back. I don't know now. I mean, he had a big lead on. He had like 80-some yard lead. Adrian Peterson didn't play. So I don't know. I have no idea. I think he still is. But anyway, you have the NFL's leading rusher, and you give him the ball 8 times? 8 times! You give him the ball. If you're the Minnesota Vikings and you're playing the Eagles this week, who's your number one concern? What person are you going to try your best to stop first? McCoy, right? Well, Chip Kelly, you did it for him. You stopped McCoy for them. Congratulations. I don't have a problem with the 4th and 1 call at the 25-yard line. I really don't. Yeah, like I said, you have the NFL's leading running back. It's like a half a yard, actually. and we're down by 2 scores, I believe. And the clock's winding down. Have some balls and go for it. If we'd have got it, no one would be bitching. Okay? So I don't have too much of an issue with that call. What I do have an issue with is you taking a timeout on a 2-point conversion play, which in the end didn't matter really, but at the time that was huge. And you ignore the run. I mean, is Andy Reid our coach or something, or what? You have Nick Foles throw it 50-some times when he's clearly... And people say, like, well, Nick Foles threw for 400-some yards. Well, he threw it 50-some fucking times. I'd hope he would. I don't believe in trap games as far as the game itself. Because when the game's played and a player's on the field, I really do believe that with the fans in the stands and everything, and the game atmosphere and everything, I believe you play pretty much the same. But it is possible with the week leading up to the game that the Eagles didn't prepare as good as they should have. That part in a trap game, I do believe is real. The Vikings do it to us again. We're rolling just like we were in 2010. And then the Vikings show up. I really hate the Minnesota Vikings. I really do. And to all the Vikings fans, you can be proud of your team. I'll eat my crow. I was wrong. I said the Eagles would win. They didn't. I'll eat my crow. Okay? You can force feed it to me. I don't care. But I still believe the Eagles are the better team. I do. If we played the Vikings 10 times, I believe we win at least 6 or 7 of them. I just do. I really do. Now, where we're at right now is the Cowboys lost. I don't know if that makes this win or this loss less painful or more painful. Less painful in the sense of now we don't have to win Chicago. It's not a must-win game. It can come down to Week 17. You know, we're still atop the NFC East. And it's more painful because if we'd have taken care of the Vikings like we should have, like we were supposed to, next week we could clinch the division. And it's still possible we can't clinch the division. If Dallas loses to the Redskins, which could happen, I'd probably predict Dallas to win if you made me, but they could lose. I don't think they will, but they could. Then we can still clinch the division next week. If Dallas wins, then us against the Bears is pretty much meaningless. So will Chip Kelly, if Dallas beats the Redskins, will Chip Kelly rest his starters against the Bears? I don't know. Will he rest them to avoid injury, or will he make them play to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the Vikings game? I don't know. Either way, you can argue about it being the right thing to do. That's pretty much where we stand. We'll have to wait for the Cowboys to face the Redskins. They'll play before we do next week. If they win, then it's going to come down to Week 17, regardless, no matter whether we win or lose against the Bears. If they lose to the Redskins, then maybe we can clinch the division next week. Depends on what QB shows up, what defense shows up, what coach shows up, what everything shows up. Maybe the NFC East is that bad. I thought the Redskins and Giants just made our division look bad. But you know what? Maybe the Eagles and Cowboys aren't all what they're cracked up to be either. I'm Eagles Truth. I'm out. Packers did us a favor. Still doesn't make our loss hurt any less, though. I'm out. Peace.